Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, dear devotees, please accept our humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Welcome to this morning's Srimad Bhagavatam class. This is a recording of a class given by Srila Prabhupada himself. Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 7, Text 32 and 33. I apologize ahead of time for some noises you hear in the background. I think some birds chirping. But click your listening devices up so you can get the volume, hear a little more clearly. Now, without further ado, we'll start the class right now. Hare Krishna.
Translation. Thus seeing the disturbance of the general populace and the destruction of the planet, Arjuna
Prajopadramamanaksha lokaviti karam chatam matancha vasudevasya sangjahara arjuna dvayam tato asadya tarasa darunam gautami sutam babandham amarsata mrakha kusum rasanaya jata prajapadrama alaksha. This is the duty of the king, of the government, to see that the citizens are in peaceful condition. So, two Brahmastra weapons released, one by Ashwatthama and by Arjuna, it created a havoc, catastrophe. And the people were suffering. So, this is the duty of the government to see that everyone is in peaceful condition. During Maharaj Yudhishthira's time, they were so happy that it is stated that there was not even scorching heat and pinching cold also. Neither people were in anxiety for their livelihood. This is government, to see that people are in good atmosphere and everything. That is the first duty of the government. Of course, we have seen at the present moment also in some of the European governments, they have got very good arrangement. In England, I have seen, although they have lost their empire, still people get free education, free medical treatment, and England does not produce practically anything except potatoes. The government imports so many eatables so that people may not suffer for want of food. So that is the way of good government from the time immemorial. So according to Vedic system, the government has to look after about the ultimate goal of life also. The modern government, they are anxious to give material comfort, but formerly the aim was to how to educate people for spiritual advancement of life. Therefore, the society was divided into 4 higher and lower divisions. Brahman, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra. You cannot make one class of men. That is not very good arrangement. There must be different departments according to capacity. You cannot engage a Shudra in a Brahman's position, neither you can engage a Brahmana in the Sudras position. But every one of them should be cooperative. Not that everyone has got the same capacity. Combinedly, they should make progress. And that progress is Jagga. Jagga. Jagga means how to satisfy the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Vishnu, Lord Vishnu. Lord Vishnu's another name is Jaggapati, Jaggeshara. So, in the Bhagavad Gita, it is clearly stated another aspect. While drinking water, they have to take. Jagyartha karma natra rupayam karma bandhana. People have to be trained up to work for jagga. Jaggartha. If you do not act for the satisfaction of the Supreme Lord, Jaggartha. Jagyartha karma, otherwise karma bandhana. You become bound up or conditioned by your work. These things are there, and it is the duty of the government to see how things are going on. But it is simply now dream. People are also not interested what is the aim of life, what is the mission of this human form of life. Neither there is guidance. There are so many upadravas. That is Kali Yuga. Kali Yuga means that people will be more and more unhappy. Prayena alpayayusha kalau vasmin yuge jana. The first thing is that the duration of life will decrease, alpayayusha. And manda, all bad men, hardly will find any good man. Manda means bad and slow. Both the meanings can be manda. Mandagati, they are not interested in progressive life. That is also manda. Mandamatayo, and they have got their own opinion. They do not follow the standard path, and it is confirmed by the so-called leaders. Jatamat tatapat, you can manufacture your own way of life. These are the situation of upadra. Manda sumandamatayo mandabhagya. And this Kali Yuga, everyone is unfortunate. Mandabhagya. Even in family, there is no family life. It is now increasing. They cannot live even peacefully in family. Family means husband, wife, children, father, mother. Generally, this is family. So in the family also there are enemies. This is prominent nowadays. The families how in the family one become enemy. Chanakya Pandit has analyzed how in the family we can become enemies of one another. The Chanakya Pandit says, Rina Karta Pita Sutru. A father in debts to others is enemy. Rina Karta Pita Sutru. Because according to Manusangita, the son inherits the property of the father. That is everywhere. So Manusangita also makes responsible the sons for the father's debt. Nowadays, if my father is debtor, I am not responsible. But according to the Vedic laws, the son is responsible for the father's debt. Because he inherits the property, why he shall not inherit the debts of the father? According to Manusangita law, he is obliged to pay the debts of the father. We have seen one very practical example. Even 50 years ago, in Calcutta, there was a very big barrister. He was a political leader. He was Mr. C.R. Das. So his father died insolvent. His father was also a very respectful man, but later on he became so much debtor that he died insolvent, declared. This Mr. C.R. Das, he did not get any property from the father, but by his practice as a barrister, he became very rich man. In those days, his monthly income was 50,000 rupees. So, he called all the creditors of his father and paid pi to pi. That my father died in debtor, now I have got money, you can take. So, this is the duty of the son. But if one is poor man, he cannot pay, so he becomes the subject matter of criticism. Under the circumstances, the father becomes the enemy. So therefore, the Chanakya Pandit's enunciation, Rina Karta Pita Satru, Mata Satru Vicharini. And if the mother, either she becomes prostitute or marries for the second time in the presence of elderly children, she is enemy. Rina Karta Pita Satru, Mata Satru Vicharini. And Chanakya Pandit had very bad experience with his wife. So he says, Rupavati Bhajya Satru. If the wife is very beautiful, she is enemy. And Putra Satru Apandita. And if the son is a rascal, no education, he is enemy. So these are the family enemies. So everything is there in the Vedic literature, instruction, how family should be maintained, how the aim of life should be fulfilled. Everything is guidance is there. As I have repeatedly said, that Veda Purana, the aim of life being forgotten, Krishna Bhuliya, অনাদি বহির্মুখ জীব কৃষ্ণ ভুলি গেলা, চৈতন্য চন্দ্র, অতএব কৃষ্ণ বেদ পুরাণ করিলা। So the Vedas, Puranas are there, the instructions are there, just like here is instruction. Matang cha Vasudevasya. Matang, the opinion should be taken from Vasudeva, Krishna. That opinion is already there in the Bhagavad Gita. Vasudeva personally giving instruction. But we neither take moral instruction, neither Vasudeva's instruction, neither we have got any intelligence. This is Kali. Mudha. Generally we are mudha, especially in the Kali Yuga. Manda samanda matayo manda bhagya upadrita. Here it is said, prajopa upadravam. So many upadravas. Actually, we are very much harassed on account of the time, place, circumstances, so on, so on. It's a very hopeless condition. Therefore, Shastra has recommended that you chant Hare Krishna. It's a very hopeless condition. Hare Nama, Hare Nama, Hare Nama, eva kevalam. Three times. When you speak 3 times anything, it means I am giving stress. You do this, you do this, you do this. It is like that. That in order to stop so many inconveniences of the present day life, Kali Yuga, Kali means quarrel, simply creating quarrel, misunderstanding. This is Kali. So, Shastra has given us, Kali Yuga is very dangerous Yuga. One cannot make his life's mission fulfilled. One is not very happy. There are so many obstacles in the peaceful way of life, even in the family, in the society, politically, nationally, internationally. So many difficulties. Everyone has got the experience. Therefore, the recommendation of the Shastra, Hare Nama, Hare Nama, Hare Nama eva kevalam. Kevalam. You cannot rectify all these difficulties because this is the age for all these difficulties. You must know it. They are trying to mitigate all these difficulties in different ways. But Shastra says that it is not possible, it is possible only by chanting the Hare Nama, the holy name of the Lord. The holy name of the Lord is Krishna, Rama. Other names are there, but they are subordinate. Not subordinate, there is no question of superior, inferior in the holy name of the Lord. But we have to pick up the order of the Shastra, Tasmat Shastra, Vidhanokta. As the Shastra gives regulative, we have to accept that. And if you do not accept that, Yasasya vidhimussijya bhaktate kamakachara. If you do whimsically, then na siddhing svabhavnati. You cannot get any perfection of life, na sukham, neither you will be happy. So, it is the injunction of the Shastra, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also inaugurated this Hare Krishna movement for the benefit of the whole world, and it is being accepted practically. So this is the only way to save us from all kinds of difficulties, upadra, upadrata, mandas mandamatayo mandabhagya hi upadrata. There will be upadra so many times. So we should accept matancha vasudevasya. We should accept the instruction given by Vasudeva and the Shastra, Sadhu, Shastra, Guru, they speak the same thing. Guru means who speaks on the basis of Shastra. Otherwise he is not Guru. And Shastra means the opinion of the great authorities. That's like that.
You need the computer? Oh, sure, yeah. I was looking for the question.
We do not neglect. We may differ from the philosophical point of view, just like Buddha, Shankaracharya, Vaishnava, they do not accept the philosophy of Buddha or Shankaracharya. Buddha's philosophy, zero, Sunnavadi, and Shankara's philosophy, Nirvisheshvadi, impersonal. So we defy this, Nirvishesha Sunnavadi. But we have got all respect for them. Don't think that we disrespect Kesavadhita Buddha Sarira, Jaya Jagadisha Hare. And the Vaishnavas know Shankaracharya, Shankara, Sam Shankara, he is incarnation of Lord Shiva. And Lord Buddha is incarnation of Krishna. So they come for particular purpose to benefit the whole world, but that is for the time being. That is not permanent. The permanent solution is matang cha vasudevasya. That is what. Matang cha vasudevasya. That is permanent. So, vasudevasya matam sarvadharman parityajya mamekam saranam. This is Vasudevasya. You simply surrender unto me. That is
My name is Dr. Mongia, one of the
everyone is
anesthesiologists.
surrender. Even Shankaracharya says, Bhagavad Gita kinchidodhita. If you read little, a portion of Bhagavad Gita, your life will be successful. That is the recommendation given by Sa Bhagavan Swayam Krishna, Vasudeva, Devaki, Vasudevasya, Nandana. He has admitted. Narayana Parah Abhaktya. Actually, Nirvishesh Bhav is for this material world, because it is mithya. They say, Shankarayas, they say mithya. We Vaishnava, we don't say mithya, because mithya it cannot be. If the absolute truth is truth, how mithya can come from the Param Sattam, Brahma Satya? If Brahma is truth, how Janmadasya Jata, everything is born from Brahma, how something can be untruth? No, that is not. Truth is there. But when we misunderstand the truth or misuse the truth, then we are in trouble. That is Vaishnava philosophy. We have to find out what is the truth in everything. And that can be understood when you are advanced. Vasudeva sarvamiti, sadvam khaludam brahma, that is truth. Nothing can be mithya. Everything is truth. We have to find out the truth. So what is that truth? The truth is that Ishavassamidam Sarvam. Everything is the God's creation. And Krishna, the Supreme Lord, God says, Bhoktaram Jagadavasam Sarvaloka Maheswaram. He is the proprietor. But we do not understand that truth, that he is the proprietor. We are creating our proprietorship. That is untruth. That is untruth. That is mithya. Jagat mithya. Jagat is not mithya. But our behavior with the jagat or the world is mithya. Jagat is not mithya. How it can be mithya? Janmadasya jata, it is coming, emanating from the absolute truth. It is true. Therefore, we have to find out the truth. What is that truth? That is described by Srila Rupa Goswami. Prapanchikataya buddhya hari sambandhi vastuna mumuksuvi parityaga phalgu vairagya kathati. If we give up everything as a mithya, prapanchik material, hari sambandhi vastuna, because everything is in connection with Hari. His energy. So, do not reject things as jagat mithya. Do not reject. Prapanchikata buddhya hari sambandhi vastuna. Do not reject. But utilize it properly. That is wanted. So, if we actually follow Matamcha Vasudevasya, and if we want to stop the upadrav, the disturbances of this material world, as Arjuna is following under the instruction of Krishna, he is doing everything under the instruction of Krishna, but he is doing political, he is counteracting with this Brahmastra, another Brahmastra. As a military man, he is doing his duty, but he is doing everything under the instruction of Krishna. And that is what? That is truth. Don't do anything thinking yourself as independent. You cannot be independent. If you don't accept Matancha Vasudevasya, then by the year you will be pulled by the Maya to do something, you will be obliged to do something. You are not independent. As soon as we forget this principle, we become fool enough to consider as independent, that I am as good as I am God. That is Raskandam. That is Raskandam. Soham does not mean that I am as good as I am God. No. I cannot be God because I am under the obligation of the laws of nature. Prakriti kriyamanani gunai karmani sarvas ahankara vimulatma kartaham iti mannate. You cannot be independent. You are not independent. If you falsely think that you are as good as God, you are independent. That is ahankara vimura. Ahankara vimura atma. So, following the Mahajan, the principles, as Arjuna is doing, we must follow the instruction of Krishna, that is fully explained in the Bhagavad Gita, and surrender unto Him, and then our life will be successful. There will be no disturbances. Otherwise, if we declare independence, that is troublesome. It will create simply trouble. Daividhi sagunamahi mama maya duruttaya. That is maya. To think oneself independent is maya. We are not independent. We are completely under the control. So long we declare independence, we suffer. And if we remain fully dependent on the will of Krishna Vasudeva, then we are happy. Thank you very much.
Hare Krishna. Jai. Wonderful lecture by Srila Prabhupada. So, dear devotees, this is the time to unmute yourself and share your takeaway, ask questions, share realizations from this lecture. So many things Srila Prabhupada pointed out. So if you feel inclined to speak up, please unmute yourself and do so now. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, please accept my humble obeisances for August Srila Prabhupada.
Accept us,
Yeah, Srila Prabhupada's lectures are always so powerful. And not only is it powerful, in addition to it being so power-packed, but it's a reminder that as human nature, we always forget who is the controller and how much we are so dependent, but we think we are independent. And as Srila Prabhupada says, to think that we are independent is Maya. I was just thinking, how nowadays they have this, this independence mentality, among young and old. It doesn't only apply to the young and the old, that whenever they say, I want to be independent, I want to stand on my own 2 feet. But in order for them to do that, they have to depend on someone to stand on their own 2 feet. Lack of a better word. It's not like they can do it all on their own. So I was just realizing that, how there was one lecture that Srila Prabhupada gave many, that I heard a couple of years ago, where Srila Prabhupada said that to the degree that we think we are independent, to that degree, we are completely dependent. I wanted to share that. Thank you so much. Haribol.
Thank you very much. Yes, I've heard that saying also, to the degree that we think we are independent, to that degree we are dependent. And for me, my own realization about that is that, it's all I have to do is just have one example to show that we are dependent. And one example that's nobody can actually argue against is the weather. We are completely dependent on the weather. Nobody dictates what the weather is. Weather people who tell us what the weather is, they're only reporting the weather. They're not creating the weather. We are totally dependent on the weather. When weather gets very, very bad, there's nothing we can do about it. So we are definitely dependent. And weather is part of nature, and nature belongs to Krishna. So we really are dependent. There's no question about it. So any more comments or realizations, please unmute yourself if you feel like doing that. Hare Krishna. Anyone else?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Hare Krishna.
Sorry, yeah. I like the point Srila Prabhupada was mentioning about if one don't follow the injunction or rules and regulation of the Shastra, there will not be happiness in the life. There will be miseries. And Prabhupada quotes the shloka from the Bhagavad Gita, Na sukham na param gatim. That was 16.23. And later on also Prabhupada mentioned, refers the shloka from the Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, Prapanchikataya Buddhi Hari Sambandha Vastunaha Mumukshu Viparityago Vairagyam Phalgu Kathe. So someone tried to, follow the religious principle, but he doesn't follow the instructions of Shastra, then it's a Phalgu Vairagya. It's not the truth. So these are I liked.
Very important. Very, very, very important. Thank you for your contribution. Wonderful. Anyone else want to unmute themselves and contribute or ask a question?
What I was going to say was when you were speaking about the weather, I was even thinking that we don't even know if we'll wake up the next morning. As Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, right? Padam padam yad vipadam. Every step there's danger. We cannot, we cannot think that there's going to be flower beds before us. We're walking on, gold or flower beds or whatever, but every step there's danger. So we don't even know if we'll see them next morning. No science in the world can predict that, okay, tomorrow morning we'll wake up or not. It's all Krishna's will. Krishna can decide. And there are so many examples that, I'm sure many of us have experienced and seen and known, how much we are completely dependent on the Lord's mercy and will. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, yes. Yeah, it's actually, we are in illusion when we think that we are very independent. Not at all. We are given very minute independence to do some things ourselves, but we are really under the control of the material energy. Once here in the material world, it's like that. Hare Krishna. Any more comments? In the meantime, while the Buddhists are thinking about, share some of my takeaways. The text itself is about the glare of the Brahmasters in one of them, and the other one is about Arjuna finding Ashwatthama. In a very angry mood, he bound him up like an animal. So the Brahmasters tradition, Srila Prabhupada started by saying that the duty of a king is to see that the citizens are in a peaceful condition. But in this case, Ashwatthama had thrown a Brahmastra, and Arjuna had thrown a Brahmastra to counteract them. So there were two Brahmastras in space, basically. And it was creating havoc. So Srila Prabhupada talked about the king seeing to it that the citizens are peaceful, but in this situation, problems were there because of what Ashwatthama was doing and what Arjuna was trying to do to counteract it. The effect of it. Intense heat from two Brahmastras affected people badly. And then he compared it to Maharaj Yudhishthira's time. When you have a good king, what happens? The weather was wonderful. Since we talked about the weather, there was no pinching cold, there was no scorching heat. And the people were quite peaceful and happy during Maharaj Yudhishthira's time. Because it was a Rajarishi, the kind of king that really makes sure that everything is going on very nicely and people are well cared for. The good king, as Bhishma said, treats the citizens like his own children. So very, 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 very important for Rajarishis. They were like that. Srila Prabhupada gave an example of at least partly a good government that Britain was doing. That Britain was providing free education and also free medical care. So those were 2 points for a good government, but it's set up like that. But a real good government set up the 4 varnas. It's always like that. Engages everyone according to their propensity. So people also have to understand that they're trained to work for Yagyapati, Lord Vishnu. But now people are not interested in the aim of life. Because the aim of life is to serve Lord Vishnu. Nate Vidu Swaga Gatum Ki Vishnu. My Bhagavatam explains like that. But many people are not interested in the aim of life. And Sri Prabhupada said, that's Kali Yuga. Hmm? People are unhappy, and he defined manda as being bad or slow. Manda bhagya, unfortunate. Then he went into family members as how they can become enemies. Father who leaves debt, that's not good, because the son is supposed to inherit the property of the father. And therefore, the debt also, if the father leaves debt, then the son will have to inherit his debt. They give an example of an attorney, barrister, lawyer, that became quite wealthy. The father had died and left debt, so he contacted all of the people who his father owed and told them that I'm now quite well off and I would like to pay the debt. So the son paid the debts for his father, literally. One example this gave. And then he said, a wife who is a prostitute or marries again when he has grown children, or a wife that is beautiful, that means uses the beauty to try to manipulate others. She's an enemy. A grown son who is a rascal is also an enemy. He's not of much use to be to the family. Then he made very important point. We are being harassed in this Kali Yuga. It's a hopeless condition, but we are supposed to chant. That's what counteracts things. Harinam, Harinam, Harinam. 3 times. Papa says you say something 3 times, means you're stressing it. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu inaugurated the Hare Krishna movement for the benefit of the whole world. So these are some of my takeaways from this. Hare Krishna. Anyone else that wants to join me or even ask a question? At any time, you can do that. All right, I'll share a little more because I have a little more to back it down. Shiva Papa says we should accept the instruction of Vasudeva. Then he went into when things went a little bit awry or bad with the use of the Vedas, where Lord Buddha incarnated. Lord Buddha is an incarnation of Krishna. And he was talking about everything being zero. He rejected the Vedas, actually. Then after him, Shankaracharya, also an incarnation of Lord Shiva, and he had impersonal teachings. So their teachings were not permanent. They were to change things to a permanent situation, but they were trying to rectify things. That's for sure, because Lord Buddha was able to stop animal killing, the inhumane treatment of animals. So he started like that, and then of course Shankaracharya did teach impersonalism, but he also mentioned that the Supreme Personality of Godhead actually was Krishna. Even as he was teaching impersonalism, he was still talking about that too. So Vaishnavas have to find the truth. Nothing is mithya. Everything is truth, but we have to find out the truth, especially as described by Rupa Goswami, because he was taught by Lord Chaitanya himself. Everything is connected. So here's the truth. Everything is connected with Hari, Lord Hari, as his energy. So we don't reject this earth as false, but we use everything for Krishna's service. Use everything for Krishna according to his instruction, especially in the Bhagavad Gita. So we don't do things independently. Actually, we can't. But if we try to work independently, then Maya will pull us to say that, oh, we are as good as God because we're doing things independently. God is fully independent. So if we're independent, then we think we're like God. That's rascaldom, Srila Prabhupada says. So we must follow the instructions of Krishna in Bhagavad Gita and surrender to him. As he says, Sarvadharman Paricyaja Mamekam Sharanam Bhaja, abandon all varieties of religion and just surrender to me. Surrendering to Krishna is, in fact, the permanent religion. We should follow the instructions of Krishna. If we think that we are independent, we will suffer. If we remain fully dependent, under the will of Krishna, then we'll be happy. So that's the choice. This is how Srila Prabhupada ended it. To think that one is dependent, is fully independent, is Maya, as it says at the bottom here. For one to think that they are fully independent, that's Maya. But we have to understand we're not independent. We are completely under the control of Maya. So, of the material nature. So, as long as we declare independence, we will suffer. And if we remain fully dependent on the will of Krishna, Vasudev, then we are happy. And this is how Srila Prabhupada ended it. Are there any final questions, realizations, or takeaways that the Buddhists want to add to before we end? If not, then we thank all of you for coming on today to hear more information that really is life-changing from Srila Prabhupada.
Can I
Hare
make
Krishna.
an announcement, please?
Yes.
Just to inform devotees that tomorrow morning class is at 8 o'clock, not 7, because we have His Holiness Chandramali Swami giving class tomorrow morning at 8 o'clock. Because of the daylight savings time in UK just for this week, he will be on at 8 in the morning. So we encourage everybody here to please join us tomorrow morning at 8 o'clock with His Holiness Chandramali Swami. Hare Krishna.
Yeah. Hare Krishna. So that's the normal time for everybody. He's on the normal time. Sometimes he's on at 7, but this time it's 8 o'clock. So that should be always says Maharaj has a lot to teach. Jai. Vanchakalpatarubhascha kripa sindhile evacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Thank you all of you for coming. Have a wonderful rest of the week. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Bless you, Prabhupada.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Sharda Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Devya. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.